on? Yes. So here we are outside the sukkah on our site on Georgia Avenue. We want to thank the Men's Club for building the sukkah for us and to provide another religious message to John and all the workers, the fine workers of BGW. So the idea of having a sukkah is Hebrew for booth, and it reminds us of thousands of years ago when the Israelites left Egypt, and for 40 years of wandering in the desert they had temporary dwellings. So by building a sukkah every year we connect with history. But the holiday of Sukkot, which is plural for sukkah, booths, also is a fall harvest festival. So it connects us to nature and reminds us how transitory, how temporary our lives are, which is quite interesting, having a temporary dwelling in the same place where we're building a permanent home for our congregation. So kind of gives what the whole message of what a dwelling is, what makes a home, and what adds permanence to our lives. The values that we have in our lives remain permanent, not necessarily the structure that we build. To also connect to nature, we have branches from nature and a fruit from nature to connect us to the holiday. This is called an etrog, or a citron. It looks like a lemon, but it's not a lemon.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, it's a great smell. You could pass that around. It is a fruit. It's a citrus
You wouldn't
fruit.
cut it open and eat it, though.
Right.
You can make it into like a jam or a jelly or something like that. With lots of sugar, because it's very...
What's unusual about that fruit is that when it rots, it doesn't smell. It still smells pretty. It'll shrivel up and dry up like a rock, but it'll still have its pleasant smell, which is probably why it was chosen to be the fruit to use for the holiday. And then there are 3 branches here, branches of a willow tree.
that are not supposed to be this color.
Because the holiday is already a week old. We have a palm branch, and we have myrtle leaves. So these are having the etrog and these 3 branches together are supposed to represent the different parts of our body. The etrog is the heart, the lulav is the spine, the willow is our mouths, and the myrtle is our eyes. So that the idea is that there's a blessing to recite and then we shake the lulav and the etrog in all different directions, in front, to the side, behind, up and down, to show that God is all around. And if it represents all parts of our body, it's as if our whole body is attesting to God's presence in our lives. So
There's a connection to Israel.
Yes, all of these are right. So the holiday of Sukkot and all the holidays on the Jewish calendar have that connection to Israel, and these are all indigenous to the land of Israel. And tomorrow is another holiday. For the conclusion of Sukkot, we actually pray for rain, and isn't it convenient that we'll have 5 inches of rain?
It came a little early this year.
But really the connection is to Israel. It only rains in Israel from now until springtime. So by praying for rain, you're hoping that the land of Israel will receive the requisite amount of water for the crops
And we
for the
do
coming
order
year.
these from Israel, and that's where they come from. But there are some people who are not as traditional, who might use something from their backyard. They might use an apple tree branch, they might use a lemon, they might use, and there's that thought that using something closer to home connects us with our own land.
Right.
So sometimes that happens. It's a very kind of out-of-the-box tradition. But,
Right.
yeah.
That can also be applied to the branches that go on top of the sukkah. The branches is one of the things that make it religiously fit for use, and it just has to be something natural that grows in the ground, so it could be any branches you want. Convenient to use bamboo, but it could evergreens or apple tree branches, anything like that. So it's also traditional to eat in the sukkah, so we're very happy to be able to provide lunch for all of you guys and to express our appreciation for all you're doing for us to build our permanent home.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Want to say
Right. So why don't we could just the blessing. It's interesting. within the Jewish tradition, there are set formulas for prayers as opposed to being kind of spontaneous and thinking about a prayer on the spot. So the prayer for eating is recognizing that the bread comes from the ground. So Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lecha min haaretz, who brings forth bread from the earth. So we have traditional Jewish food for you. We have whitefish salad.
Whitefish salad.
Cream cheese with lox. It tastes better than it sounds. And there is tuna fish, and there are bagels and soda, and we're happy to break bread with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate the work you guys just working with us.
Well, you're doing all the work. So
Oh, well, let me tell
appreciate
you,
it.
it's symbiotic because